Hello there, everyone. Patricia Hayes here with today's Coffee Time Career Chat. I'm super excited, as always, to be with you, having a little chit chat about some of my favorite topics when it comes to your personal and professional development. For those of you joining for the first time, again, my name is Patricia Hayes. I'm an executive advisor, empowerment coach, and authentic networking strategist who works diligently to help professionals, executives, and entrepreneurs who are trying to up level in their careers and their business, perhaps even engaged in a major transition point to make sure that they are well situated with their levels of confidence and empowerment to take things to the next level and to make sure that they also are fully engaging and leveraging the power of their professional relationships to make that next level thing happen. So glad to be here. Today, we are continuing the Wednesday series conversation about supporting your leadership growth. And today's topic specifically, we're looking at taking time for leadership reflection. This is something that people do not do enough of. So we're going to take a little bit of time here to discuss it and hopefully get you in a position to where you are doing it and you start making it a part of your everyday process. Okay. So here's the first thing that a lot of times people don't realize, that as you're trying to grow as a leader, as you're trying to grow in your profession or in your business, that there is an incredible amount of power in slowing down to speed up so you can grow. It makes no sense to the average person. It seems completely contrary to conventional wisdom, but it is so very true. Not just because it's something I've experienced, but folks who I have engaged it with in my various networking groups, coaching programs, the power of stepping back in order to really think about what it is you're doing, what it is you want to do next, and pulling back and getting off of that hustle train, man, there's just nothing like it. Because for the first part, most of the time people feel an incredible amount of relief, right? Because that constant go 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 is exhausting, and it's a easy track to burnout by doing that. But when you allow yourself the time to step back, to step off of the hustle train, to step off of the go, go, go mentality, and to actually actively, not passively, not in response to crisis, but to actively take time to give some thought about what it is you're actually doing, whether it's something you still want to do, and whether uh, it's something you want to do moving forward for real. Very powerful. Very powerful. And a lot of times people don't take that time to reflect for a number of reasons. Number one, it's total fear and a scarcity mindset, right? Because you're just caught like, well, if I stop, then I'm going to miss out on something. That's that whole FOMO, fear of missing out. So you've got that fear of missing out. You've got that fear of missing out coupled with I'm going to miss out and I'm not going to have enough money, opportunity, whatever by slowing down, and also that you are just scared when you're not really sure you're ready for the answer to what you may gain. Then you don't want to slow down, because that's really an internal thing. All of those are internal issues where the value is in taking the time to slow down so that ultimately you can actually grow faster. You can rebuild that momentum, especially if you end up taking some things off your plate, moving some things around, or just listening to yourself and to the wisdom of perhaps some people you've taken the time to get some input from. But it really is a very powerful tool for that, for taking that time set aside so that ultimately you can actually grow faster. You can expand at a quicker rate because you've taken time to step aside. Okay. So that's the first thing, slowing down to speed up and grow. The second point is about being deliberate in your reflection. All right. So, what do I mean by that? This means this is not a, okay, I've got 5 minutes here in between X, Y, and Z. So let me think. No, no, no. That is not being deliberate. It is smart to be able to take advantage of time that you may gain unexpectedly. However, when you're talking about doing enough that will support you for your long term growth, you've got to be more focused, more deliberate. You have to schedule it. Okay. You have to say, I need to take 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here, an hour here, so that my full attention is given to considering my next steps, thinking about what it is I'm doing for real, questioning why I'm doing certain things, scheduling a conversation with someone so that I can get some input to some questions I've been asking myself. All right. That's what I mean. Not rushed and not random. Random does not feed you well, not for the long term. It may be good for generating some additional questions, but that means then that you need to have written those things down so that when you take the time to actually and deliberately schedule reflection time, those can be a part of the things that you're thinking about. So again, I'm not saying that that 5 or 10 minutes here can't be fruitful or useful. It absolutely can. I do it all the time, but I'm not considering it the reflection work. I'm considering it an aha moment. Let me write that down so I can come back to it. Your reflection time may be a compilation of those aha moments you've had and those moments where you've said, I need to come back to that. Guess what? That's what your reflection time is all about. Coming back to those aha moments and really sitting with them and figuring out where they fit in, why they came to you to begin with, and where do you need to go with them. There's so much power in it. There really is. And when you take that time again to be deliberate in your reflections, it may generate more questions. And that's honestly to be expected. It's really what you want because one of the other things about being deliberate is not to think that, well, I did this for 30 minutes or an hour, so I should be done. No, if you really want to grow, that reflection time may actually build on itself and require you to come back multiple times before you really flesh out where it is you want to be and what it is you're doing. All right. So that's one of the things you need to be prepared for. So, one of the things that's really helpful is to say, I'm going to schedule some regular reflection time for the next month, right? Maybe it's just the next month. And so, you choose what day and time works best for you, where you're not going to be interrupted, where you're not going to be hustling to go answer the phone, address that next email, whatever, but it is scheduled time solely for that purpose. For some of us, that is a really tough thing. If you work from home, like so many of us have been doing for a while now, it means there's always the potential of something personal coming up that you need to address right then. So maybe for that time, you actually go outside of your home, go find a local coffee shop where you can, sit comfortably, socially distance, and give some time to thought because no one around you knows you. You've turned your phone off or you've put the notifications on hold, and you can just sit and really give some thought to it. If you're in your office, Maybe this is now something you schedule on your weekends or, after work when if you have an opportunity to maybe make a stop on the way home and just kind of sit and think. Do whatever it takes in order to make it valuable and useful for you. This is not something you do because, oh, well, so and so said that they did it this way. It may not work. It may not work. Doing it someone else's way may not work for you. All right. It's great to take tips for it. I do it all the time. I'm like, oh, I haven't tried that before. I may add that to my repertoire, right? Do that all the time. However, you still have to know who you are and what works best for you in order for you to really get true value from your reflection time. Okay? So be deliberate, don't rush it, and do not consider random aha moments as the reflection time. Only those are the teasers to the time that you really need to put in. Okay? Um, the last thing is to make sure that you then take action based on the insights that you gain from that reflection time. This is where people fall down all the time. So let's say you make it all the way through and you get to that point where you've actually sat down, you have you slowed down your momentum, you've slowed down your pace so that you can gain momentum later. You've been deliberate in setting aside some time for reflection, and then you go right back into that hustle mode. And that is where people lose the value that they've gained. Because I'm not going to say that this is what works for you or for everyone, but one thing that everyone needs to figure out is, for you, what does it now look like to incorporate those reflection insights into your next steps? That again takes some time and some thought. So even before you jump back into whatever it is you're doing, in jumping back into your quote regular routine, one of the things you may actively need to consider is what you are going to do to incorporate whatever you learn from this process into what you do next. So if that means that you have a quote list of things that need to be done as a result of this reflection time, then adding them to your calendar, being very specific. Or maybe you need to add in additional reflection time on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis in order to achieve those goals. Okay. Taking action and doing the follow up is really and truly where the gold is on in any kind of way. I talk about it all the time when I'm helping people leverage their professional relationships, and whether they're leveraging their professional relationships and not following up, or if you are engaged in professional growth and you don't do the follow up. Both of them are negative, and they take away from the growth and the momentum that you've gained by engaging in that work. So, what you don't want to do is to lose the value of what you've done in attempt to grow yourself. So, take the last step. Take that last step of making sure to be deliberate again about what you're going to do. How are you going to take action? What are those insights leading to? Action, thoughts, conversations, next steps, wipe the slate clean, whatever it may be. Make sure that you are incorporating that into what you're doing as well as you look to support your long-term leadership growth. Okay? Taking that time to reflect is so important. And why? Because remember, leadership is not about the title that you have, it's about the influence you have for people who have put their trust in you, who are modeling you and looking up to you for direction, um, All of those things that come into what a good leader looks like. And if you really want to support that and to continue to grow in that, then you need to take the time to step back, give some thought to what it is you're doing, how you're doing it, whether you should be doing it. Be deliberate about it. Don't rush the thinking, don't rush the reflection, but then ultimately make sure you take action on what you've learned from that time. All right, that is it. Thank you so much for joining yet again. Look forward to following up with you. If you need some more conversation around, or a personal conversation or insights around your professional growth, would be happy to jump on a call with you, do a little 20-minute consult. We can connect and have a conversation about what your needs are, and if there's something that you need to do in order to take it further and get to the next level. All right, just reach out to me, hit me up in the DMs, or email, whatever it is. All of the social platform things, I'm always available. Okay, take care everyone and have a fantastic week. Bye bye.